can join in. Are you ready to go? OTW 2022.
83224.
Woo! You guys got your phones out doing that, right? Good. All right. Now let's welcome Julie Deason, who will, did I pronounce that last name right? Okay. Who will talk about why we need to cancel student debt. Welcome, Julie.
Hello, everyone. So I have to say to everybody who is talking about getting a text and phone calls to talk and this and that, and I woke up to a text message this morning, hey, you want to talk today? So at least you guys got notice. So a little bit about me. I'm not usually the one who's up here in the front talking, but I am usually behind her in whatever she wants to do and dream, and there's reasons behind that. So growing up, I grew up in Texas, right smack in the Bible Belt with everything, and my grandmother was an immigrant. She came here through Ellis Island, an orphan, at the age of 13 to the U.S. because that's where your life was, that's where life began, that was the dream, and those are the values. And she was adopted by a lovely family and raised in Alabama, and had my mom who married my dad, who went into the military, and lost my dad due to service-connected disabilities, lost my oldest brother to the Vietnam War, and so that was me. But you know, we're good. We're patriotic, good conservative, Republican family. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. 2016, I voted for Trump. And you know what I know why? Because Bernie wasn't on the ballot.
That's right.
If Bernie had been on the ballot, I would have taken my registered Republican vote and I would have voted for Bernie. And so I'm here today because we don't have an option. Warren's not an option. Mayor Pete's not an option. Trump's not an option. We have one option to stand together. And I'm a little, I don't know, emotional today. So Facebook, we all love Facebook. Everybody does Facebook, right? Everybody has Facebook? Yep, love that little thing. Your memories on Facebook. I love my memories on Facebook. I love to click and see what I was doing 5 years ago, 7 years, 9 years ago. I really need to get a life. So today's memory popped up. Your memory 2 years ago. So 2 years ago today, I was sitting in the emergency room in the hospital in Murrieta, California, being diagnosed with DVTs and PEs, pulmonary embolisms. For those who are not medically, those are blood clots in my leg and in my lungs. And I was sitting there, and you know, every medical show I've ever seen, nobody lives from those things and nobody survives, and it was scary. But that day I wasn't sitting there in the hospital scared that I was going to die, and I wasn't sitting there overwhelmed with, oh crap, how am I going to pay my medical costs? What am I going to do if they hospitalize me? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to my son? You know, what's going to happen to everything? Those thoughts didn't cross my mind. My biggest worry right there in that moment was, what's going to happen to my dog and 2 cats? Because they're in the car in the parking lot, because that's currently where we live. Because due to everything else, I was living in my car with my animals and in this medical condition. And, well, Mariana was my best friend. We were roommates back in college 20-odd years ago. And Brad, who's always up late on the computer, is messaging me, and I might have at that point mentioned, yeah, I might be in the hospital. And I swear, and I know I told her about getting the stent in my heart, because Bernie and I were stunt buddies now. But she swears I didn't, but I really did. So anyway, the next day I get this phone call when she wakes up and Brad tells her, and I'm getting yelled at. Have you guys ever been on the wrong end of Mariana when she's mad at you? Not only is she yelling at me, but her lovely girls are screaming at me in the background. And 2 days later I found myself in their home. The girls moved into their room together so that way I had a place to live. And because of that, I'm here today. So yeah, these medical histories and stuff, so talk about being born again, and I have to have a reason to be here. And so a couple of months later, Reverend Barber comes to town. And I'm not able to work, I'm just sitting around the house, playing with her kids, taking naps, getting some meds straightened out, but alive. And she's like, hey, let's go to this thing. And I'm like, okay, let's go to this thing. And we sat there and we listened and we talked. And then the next thing I know, I'm going to these awesome things on Mondays in Olympia with the Poor People's Campaign, where we're meeting wonderful people like Naomi and bonding and finding that we're all in this together. It's not left versus right, it's right versus wrong, and it's not me, it's about us, and together we're gonna do this. And I spent the next 6 weeks having a lot of fun, getting arrested, laying in the middle of the street, and it was a blast. And so, yeah, I believe I'm here today and I've got a purpose. And so when we're sitting around the table and Mariana's like, I think I'm gonna run for office. You in this? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, you bet, let's do this. And so I find myself at all these lovely activities, and when I wake up to a text message of, hey, you gonna talk today? And I catch myself saying, hell yes, let's do this, because you know what, I'm still here today. And I'm here with all of you. And we're here, and we're gonna get Bernie, and everybody has a story. Everybody has a story, and Bernie's gonna help our story. And so I'm here to talk to you about student debt, the overwhelming burden of student debt. So like the good girl, I went to college because, you know, you go to college and you take out those student loans. They make you all these promises. You sign these awesome student loans and it's only a 4% interest. And you don't have to pay them back till you get out of college. And you're like, okay, I can do that. That doesn't calculate very much. So between my bachelor's and graduate degrees, I want to say I borrowed a total of about $35,000, maybe $40,000. Not a huge amount in the scheme of things. Got myself a job and I'm working, I'm doing my things, but you know what? They lie. Can you believe that? These government student loans, they lied. They took these loans, and as soon as you graduate from college, they sell them to other companies. Well, no, now that little contract you signed at that nice little manageable 4% interest, well, now that's an 18% interest. Plus, they charge you all these fees for selling them. And you can't do a damn thing because you're no longer a college student. So let's see, 20 years after my initial college graduation, about 12 from graduate school. Still keep in mind, only borrowing $35,000 to $40,000 total. With the interest and the fees and the consolidation and them selling it to this person and selling it to that person, if you pull up my credit report, it lists approximately $160,000 in student loan debt. Yeah, Yep. So how am I, living in my car with my dog and 2 cats, and then living in Mariana's spare room, gonna pay back $160,000? And keep in mind, this year's when I was working, I was making my payments on my student loans. I had a good job, I had the job with the benefits, I was a good little corporate girl. So it's not like I haven't ever paid on them. So here's what it is. There are millions of Americans in the same boat, that they can't survive. When you're looking at $1,000 to $2,000 a month in student loan payments, how are you supposed to buy groceries or health care? So even when we get our health care, we're not paying thousands of dollars a month for that. Nobody can still afford it. So what else are we looking at? So it's the economy, and they're like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I've got all these debts and I can't pay them and I'm working 2 jobs. Well, imagine if all those people didn't have to make that $500, $1,000 a debt a month in those payments. What else could they do to stimulate the economy? What else could they buy? What other products could they do? What kind of quality of life? Maybe, okay, get this one. This one's like a really weird out there thought. What if they only had to work 1 job, just 1 full-time job to support their family and not 2? Think about it. Think about it. They only had to work 1 job. What if they could actually afford to buy a house? Because right now, you look at my income to debt ratio, I can't buy a house. I couldn't get financing when the market fell because my income to debt ratio was too low, was too lopsided because of my student loans. So how many of these people, if they weren't sitting on all that student loan, just plugging up the system, they're being punished for it. They're being punished for saying, trust me, take this money, get your education, make yourself better, make yourself a better life, live the American dream, go out, have your kids, do more, but oh yeah, you're not going to be able to put your kids in college. And you're not going to be able to get loans for your kids to go to college because you're past due on your loans, and so your kids are screwed. So they get to go work 3 jobs with no insurance and no life and no quality of life and no nothing. And so, yeah, student debt's huge. Millions of people. And they could take that money and they could turn it around and they could buy a home. And they could do things on the weekend, like come to Bernie rallies. Because they aren't working 2 jobs. or three. You're right, or three. So, we need this. Bernie's our only hope. I have to laugh. Brad's got a sticker on it. It's Bernobi. It's a Star Wars play. He's our only hope. He is. Bernie's our only hope at this point. And that's right. From the Trump voting Republican, I am here with you. We are together. We are the revolution, and we are going to make a difference.
Thank you so much, Julie. We've heard some amazing stories here today. We've got some incredible activists doing such important work across our state. One of